What's going on, everybody? Mile High back with another video. Before we get into the video, make sure you guys drop a like. If we reach 100 likes within the first 24 hours, we'll be giving away a gold pass. So the attack we're going to be using today, I was messing around in friendly challenges, and I decided to mix together Super Bowlers and Meteor Golems, and it's actually surprisingly strong. It even works on Legend Modifier. I haven't taken it into Legend League yet, but I was using it on Legend Modifier on my base, which is a pretty well leveled up base. So as you see, we're going to be bringing the 3 Meteor Golems with the 3 Super Bowlers, and there's the spell out there. I'm bringing a Troop Launcher with another Meteor Golem in there. For equipments, I've got the Spiky Ball and the Snake Bracelet on the King. I've got the Action Figure Giant Arrow on the Queen, the Eternal Tome and the Rage Gem on the Warden, and then I have the Haste File and the Electro Boots on the Royal Champion. If you want to swap out the Haste File for a Rocket Spear, you can do that as well, but I actually kind of prefer this just to get a little bit more value on your short RC charge. So let's go hop into the first attack, and I'll show you guys how this works. Alright, so you're going to start off by doing a short Royal Champion charge. As you see, we only have 5 invis spells, so you definitely want to have the Fox with this one. So we're going to drop the Royal Champion down here and charge her into this Multi-Inferno here. I'm sure there's going to be Teslas and stuff in there as well. But her job is just to clear out a chunk of the base. I'm not sure exactly how much she'll get. I'm kind of going to try to get her to path left, so I'm hoping she can get something like this, and then we'll recall her out. If she can get that, that would be absolutely perfect, because that would be a really good funnel. Then the next step is to drop your troops in. I'm going to drop my Meteor Golems and everything right here where that X is at, and then I'm going to wall break them in. And then you're going to use your Queen after that. I'm probably going to use her somewhere up here and shoot the Giant Arrow. Her job is to cut off the funnel and then hopefully join up with your main army. Sometimes she'll wander around the outside, but then we're going to drop the King over here. And his job is to go around the outside of the base with his Snake Bracelet and just keep all that trash clear, which keeps a nice tight funnel for our troops through the base. Now they can path through like this. Then you have your totem spells as well. You're going to sprinkle in on the entry. Try to save your Warden ability until you're all the way in the core, and then you just got to look for somewhere to overgrowth. We'll just have to play it by ear where we're going to overgrowth. So we're going to get rid of the drawing. Press play. It's pretty simple as long as you can get a decent RC charge to get the funnel set. So I'm dropping the invises on 6. So at 56, 46, 36, sometimes I'll double cycle. It just depends on where we're at in the base if we're going to take a lot of damage. Usually at least for the first 2 cycles of invis, look how much damage that monolith did. That's why sometimes I'll double cycle. Probably should have there, but it is what it is. I'm going to make sure I'm a little bit more careful now. Just keep double cycling. And we did get her to go the way we want, so the funnel is going to be set perfectly. That storage even goes down from the aura, which is perfect. We use one more to take out that expo, and then we'll recall her out. I do have one furnace as well, which I'll probably eventually drop at the bottom and just hopefully clear some more of that trash. I just don't know if it'll get much value because of those heroes, but it should at least get a couple of them buildings, which is perfect. So now we'll get ready to drop in our main army. We're going to wall break first, and then we'll drop in our Meteor Golems, our Super Bowlers, our Healers, our Apprentice Warden, and then our Warden. Then we'll use the Queen with the Giant Arrow that cuts off the funnel. That'll force him into this compartment. Then we get the King on the outside, and he's going to walk around the outside. Unfortunately, our Queen did go with the King, but that's actually fine. Preferably you want her to go with your main army, but in this case, it actually ends up working out pretty well for me. So as you see, we're just using totem spells, sprinkling them in here because there is a lot of damage. We have the Fire Spitter, the Super Wizard Tower, and the Multi-Inferno. We used our Overgrowth spell on that monolith because obviously it was going to be a long time before we could path to it. So we basically only got that in the Ricochet Cannon, but I think it's worth it because that monolith would have been picking off my healers and these other troops down here. Unfortunately, we did have a couple split off, which are fighting the King, and then 2 healers went with them, which is really annoying. But look at that Warden ability right in the dead center of the core. So we're protecting absolutely everything, and the core is getting gutted, and as you see, we get a nice split on our troops now. And look how overkilled this base is. We are absolutely coasting. We still have our King's ability, and we just have a couple archers, which I drop on the back side here just to help clean up trash a little quicker. But look how overkilled this base is. And that's on Legend Modifier. So it is very, very powerful. I was really surprised when I first used this, and that's how overkilled the base was. So I used it a little bit more, and I'll go show you guys those attacks now. Alright, into attack number 2. Same concept. We're going to go in from the right over here with the Royal Champion. There's a lot of defenses here we can get rid of. We can get rid of that Light Beam, the Multi-Gear Cannon. We also have that Multi-Inferno in there, and it'll do a really nice job setting a nice funnel because there's a lot of trash over here as well. It should free up a lot of this trash for our Furnace to take out now. That's what I usually like to do, is drop the Furnace kind of where my Royal Champion was deployed to pick up extra trash and just make that funnel a little bit bigger, and then it speeds up your cleanup at the end because you don't have to backtrack as much. So we're using our invises, keeping this Royal Champion safe right now. We did use her Haste File to speed her up a little bit. We're going to take out this Expo. We're not going to get greedy. We'll just take her out while she's still full health. And I'm going to use my furnace up there to start trimming some trash. And then I'm going to use a couple wizards here to get rid of these collectors right away. And then we will send our main army in. As you see, that furnace is going to do a good job just taking out some trash over there that's free, so we don't have to backtrack so far around the end of the base, because that's where we're going to end now. That's why I like having that one furnace. So we're going to use our queen with a giant arrow to cut off the funnel now. Send the king around the outside. I'm hoping my queen will actually go in with my main army this time instead of following the king, because that's ideally what you want. Now we're just dropping our totem spells. We get a big overgrowth. We get the super wizard tower. We got the ricochet cannon and the revenge tower, which is really nice. Protect us from that while we go around the outside, and then we'll be able to use our warden ability to protect through all that damage once our overgrowth wears off, so that should work out perfectly. I'm going to rage here, deal with that clan castle a little bit quicker, because obviously we have to rely on the queen. As you see, our queen did go inside, joined up with our troops, so this is absolutely perfect execution. We got our king over here on the outside. That's exactly what you want. Overgrowth wears off, so we hit our warden's eternal tome. We'll be able to gut that core while everything's invincible. Super Bowler skipping through off the Town Hall and actually hitting that Super Wizard Tower, which is really nice. A Royal Champion about to go down, but that's fine. She did get a lot of value after we redeployed her. So we got some Super Bowlers over here now with the healers, and unfortunately the healers are not healing them. They're healing the Meteor Golems that are behind, which is really unlucky. But at this point, there's nothing left for us to do again. We'll just let our king go to auto ability. We'll 4x through this. This one isn't nearly as overkilled, but it wasn't the greatest execution either. But we still get the 3-star. Nonetheless, it is legend modifier, so you can't complain about a 3-star. Let's go hop into our final attack. Alright, into the final attack. We're going to send our Royal Champion over here from the right side because I want to path into that Super Wizard Tower. The Super Wizard Towers are actually nasty. They do so much damage, so I like getting them out of the way. At least one of them with your Royal Champion charge if you can. Obviously, you're not going to be able to get both of them because if people are smart when they build their base, they won't have them anywhere near each other. As you see on this base, they're opposite sides. So we're going to charge in, try to get rid of one of them. If we could get that Multi-Inferno as well, that would be icing on the cake. But we don't necessarily need it. We hit our haste file, so we're going to be able to get a lot of value. That's why I really like the haste file. As you see, we get it down. We'll be able to get that rage tower as well. Got a lot of value out of that. We still have another invis as well. Unfortunately, we did take a lot of damage there. That's alright. We'll let the scatter shot go down. We'll recall her out. Big value out of the Royal Champion. It isn't the greatest funnel. I'm going to have to use some wizards here to get rid of them, collectors. Otherwise, we'll risk our troops going that way. They're going to die, unfortunately, and not get a lot of value because of the dragons, but I needed those collectors to go down. Otherwise, I was running the risk of having some of my troops wander up there. So we'll drop everything in now. We're actually going to use the furnace with the main army this time just because there's really nothing free up there. We have mortars in the corners, so there's nothing I have to protect it. So I'll just use it here so it at least gets some value. Get our troop launcher in. Unfortunately, our queen did go with the king this time, but I kind of had to do that to cut this funnel off because I was so close to the edge. I didn't really have any other way to push my troops in, so that's fine. We'll use these totem spells on the multi-gear cannon and that monolith. As you see, we hit that revenge tower and that multi-inferno with the overgrowth spell. That revenge tower is nasty, so I like hitting it most of the time with the overgrowth. That way I have troops on top of it when it wears off, and it can go down really quick so it doesn't get too much value. As soon as that overgrowth wears off, we hit our Warden's Eternal Tome and we rage up. We're going to shred through that revenge tower. It got absolutely no value because we played a perfect overgrowth and we timed our rage and our Warden ability perfectly after that. And as you see, that furnace still doing a pretty good job. Joining in with our troops there. Just doing slow fire damage, burning stuff down. As you see, our Super Bowlers are completely full health with the healers. That is ideal. And this base, as you see again, is overkilled. Much more overkilled than the last one. Probably not as overkilled as the first one, but as you see, on Legend Modifier, it is not easy to overkill a base this hard. We have so many troops still alive, and we coast to the triple. So I might actually take this into Legend League. If you guys want to see that, let me know in the comments, because it's actually surprisingly powerful. Drop a like if you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll catch you guys next time.